Yeah, man. God wanted me to come on here and speak about witchcraft. Certain symptoms, signs you could look for to see if you may be under some kind of witchcraft or sorcery. You know, first things first, I can say is, there's common things that happen to us, that aren't necessarily witchcraft, but they are symptoms of witchcraft. Certain things like headaches, nausea, feeling lethargic, feeling oppressed is the only way I can put it. If you feel a sense of heaviness come onto you for no good reason, it could be a possibility or a potential that somebody's doing witchcraft on you. Dizziness when you wake up in the morning, fogginess, lethargic, cloudiness, a lack of sleep. You know what I'm saying? Manipulation in your dreams. This can be signs and symptoms that somebody out there is doing witchcraft on you. If you feel constantly oppressed, constantly like this heaviness, or feeling lethargic, pins, needles in your skin, pokes, muscle spasms, itchiness in your skin, short fused, voices talking to you, right? Hearing voices in your head, familiar spirits, confusion, all of these things, man, these are all symptoms and signs that you may potentially be being attacked by witchcraft. And a lot of this stuff can get written off as like normal basic things, right? Like I said, a headache, nausea, stuff like this. But these are things that you deal with, or things that you will go through or experience if you have been under any kind of witchcraft or demonic spirits or spell work. One of these things is going to stand out to you or stick out to you, and hopefully it can help you identify that maybe somebody's potentially doing some kind of witchcraft on you, and you can begin to pray against it, man. Because some of this stuff can affect you, for weeks, months, years. It depends. It depends on how you're handling your warfare and what is actually being done. But you got to understand, man, a lot of us chosen ones are going through very demonic things. When it comes to witchcraft and spiritual warfare, we got people participating in all kinds of you know sorcery and black magic and voodoo, and doing all kinds of weird stuff on us as chosen. And I think a lot of us can get frustrated and not understand why we feel the way we do at times, why we feel overly oppressed or suppressed, or why do we have headaches, or why do we feel these symptoms, or what is it that's causing us to feel lazy, unmotivated, lethargic, sick, all these different things. And everybody around you can make you feel like it's just something that's normal, or it can be oh, it's just this, it's just that. But in reality, the root of a lot of what's going on in our lives is witchcraft, man. This is why we got to learn how to pray with fire. We got to learn how to come up against this stuff in the spirit, with God, with the blood, with the Bible, with speaking things over ourselves and making sure we're closing doors, man, because witchcraft has many effects on you. There's so many different types of witchcraft. There's so many different types of things that these people get intrigued by and intrigued with, and it all does certain things to you. I've been through many attempts on my life with witchcraft. I know what it feels like to experience, many forms of witchcraft. I know what it's like to experience a bunch of different demonic things as well. And you can be somebody who's been through what I have and not have anybody to talk to about, or not understand completely what you're going through. And I can tell you firsthand, most of our warfare is rooted in witchcraft. It's based in witchcraft. It's based in people that are being sent into our lives by Satan himself to practice this stuff on us. You know, this is why we got to come out of agreement with things. We've got to learn how to renounce and cancel and bind things up. And we've got to learn to pray with authority. For real, man. Like, we've got to understand and submit everything under the submission and the authority of the Most High God, because a lot of this stuff, if you don't attack it yourself with prayer, if you don't go at it head first, you know, it can have a tremendous effect on you, to the point where, like I said, this stuff kills people, man. This stuff puts people in the hospital. This stuff causes people to do all kinds of stuff. You know, a lot of the times what they like to do, what these witches and warlocks like to do, man, they like to manipulate the mind, okay? It's the same thing with Satan. It's the same thing with dealing with him and all these unclean spirits. Witchcraft is rooted a lot in the mind, okay? It's a lot of mental manipulation. This is why the Bible, I'm telling you, man, the verse that sticks out more than anything, you know, at times to me, is to take every thought captive and to submit it under the authority of the Holy Spirit, right? Because this witchcraft stuff is a lot of mental manipulation. It's a lot of mind games, right? It's a lot of trying to get you to come into agreement with negative things, negative thoughts, negative emotions, you know. And people that want to discredit witchcraft, or people that don't want me talking about this, it is what it is. I'm going to continuously expose it because it's the truth. This is what we're up against. You see, a lot of us Chosen, we have to go through certain things so we can rely on God to get through it, and then we can teach other people. That's what, you know, our warfare entails a lot of the times, right? Is once we experience it, once we go through it, we're supposed to learn from it and then teach others, man, so others can come out of agreement with it, so others can learn how to identify it, pray against it. A lot of the times in the mornings, man, when you wake up, if you're under witchcraft, you're going to feel like a sense of, you know, for me, when I go through my attacks, it's almost like a sense of like feeling almost drunk, right? You kind of feel dizzy, you feel lethargic, you feel confused, you kind of feel like just not all here, right? That's the only way I can really explain it, you know. And the only thing you can do to counteract this stuff, man, is to continuously pray and speak life over yourself. Speak out loud, right? A lot of what we're dealing with, man, we need to learn how to come up against it with our tongue, right? We also need to obviously be obedient so we don't open any doors up. But we've got to learn to command things over our life with our tongue, right? There's power in our tongue, even in faith. It's very hard to even really fully wrap your mind around what you're going through or what you're experiencing. Because, you know, like I said, it could be more than one area of your life being hit at once by the enemy. Not only your sleep being attacked, but your finances and your physical health and your mental health and all these things. This is oppression, man. This is demonic warfare. This is what it is. It's demonic warfare 101, right? You know, there's also all kinds of other stuff going on. Like I've done a video before when I say, is this more than a spiritual warrior? 100% it is. But for the most part, we're going to battle up against these witches and these warlocks, up against these unclean spirits, up against the devil himself. You know, and witchcraft is something that will affect your life forever, man. If you don't start addressing it now with God, if you don't start identifying this stuff, if you don't start, you know, taking every thought before the throne truly, if you don't really start praying with fire, praying, you know, heavy, asking God to reveal things to you to protect you, this stuff will affect your life, you know, very, very, very seriously, man. And a lot of us want to be in cognitive dissonance at times. We can't even believe that somebody around us could be doing witchcraft on us. You know, it kind of can scare us, or it can make us think like, nah, there's no way. This is just, you know, yada yada. But yes, man, this stuff is going on. People are paying people left and right. You better believe when it comes to narcissistic people, there's no limits, there's no boundaries. They will pay people to do witchcraft on us. If you have experienced any form of witchcraft, the one thing I can say is to make sure you're fasting and you're flushing your body out with water, because that's another thing that happens, man. You know, they can do all kinds of work in the realm to make you not only lazy and lethargic and confused, but they can make you overeat, right? They can send all kinds of mental stuff at you to try to really just slow you down and make you sluggish in every area of your life. You know, so fasting is a great way to counteract this witchcraft stuff, man. Obviously, reading the word, praying out loud, continuously confessing, repenting, you know what I mean? Coming out of agreement with stuff.